This resynced version feels like a decent version, and I'm not lying. What you see is a footage of me capturing a fort in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and this thing is 13 years old. That means we have been doing it for 13 years. Just the way overall design has been initially, or just the way I have been seeing it on the internet, me no like. Absolutely me no like. So just to give you a background, Edward Kenway has been storming forts for about 13 years in the original Black Flag. It's one of the most satisfying loops in the entire game, and Ubisoft just made it from the ground up in Resynced. So the question is simple: did they actually make it better, or did they just actually make it shinier just so that it fills the narrative, or it rather not fits or fills the narrative or creates a narrative? I went through every deep dive Ubisoft published and early hands-on preview, and I want to talk it through to you how it looks. You can have your own opinion, but then I think this Resync version of fort capture is controversial. So just a quick refresher on how it works since 2013. You sail up to a fort and the game gives you a clear choice, fixed objectives, usually a set number of watchtowers and gunpowder stockpiles. You have to blow up with Jackdaw's cannon and mortars before the fort defenses. They drop low and then you land. It was readable. It was clear what you have to do. You could look at the fort, count the towers and decide your strategy. Do you want the first couple of fort defenses to take mortar hit, or you want to go in with the guns blazing, or if in case there are some ships around, how would you protect yourself? And it was all calculated. You could predict it and you could work your way through it. Yeah, I mean, ships, they create a lot of problem, but then we like that problem. Once the defenses were down, we would storm onto the fort, fight the guards, and eventually reach up to the fort commander, and depends on you whether you want to execute it or just take care of the fort. Now, Rethink throws that fixed objective structure out entirely because it's all about feelings. I don't know how it works, but then instead of a clear narrative of destroy X number of towers, forts now run through something which they call it as a dynamic morale system. What is a dynamic morale system? I don't care what morale system it is. Here the idea is that all your actions, they matter, not just hitting predetermined targets, because it's not about completing objectives and destroying fortifications. It's all about feelings. Yeah, you heard it right. It's all about feelings. Say it with me. Feelings. In practice, this means whenever you engage a fort, it calls in nearby enemy ships for backup. So you're fighting naval battles before you actually get to the land. And this is something which is similar to what we did in 2013 onwards. So that's fine. And, it does not feel natural because now you don't have to worry about defenses that much, which is a problem. And another problem that I feel, which is causing nightmares to me, that they have conceived the ground combat from Assassin's Creed Shadow, which means new type of enemies they show up to fight, and the overall dynamic of how this fight goes changes. Honestly, I like the way this fight works. So I'm not gonna sit here and accept the fact that they have done something amazing, and we should be happy about it. So yeah, I'm registering my discomfort with what has happened in Resynced, and I stand for the Assassin's Creed Black Flag. In my opinion, if they would have just released it in 4K, increased the graphics a little, maybe made it more, let's say, graphics friendly, I think that would have done it. But then wait, mods have already done it, so they had nothing to do with that. So what they end up doing, they end up creating a completely wonky game of one of the most successful Assassin's Creed pirate game that is there. And the last part of it, this is why I think it is a downgrade. Now, a morale system sounds more dynamic on paper, but dynamic often means vague. There are no clear objectives, there are no clear thought processes around it when it comes to objectives. So yeah, I'm not a very big fan of it. Siege was satisfying because you know what you were doing. Take down those 5 fort defenses, take out those 7 fort defenses, and boom, you are in it. You're taking care of the brutes there or the officers there, and you're heading into the commander's chambers and you're winning the fort. It was all objective oriented. I don't know when Ubisoft would realize the people who play their games and people who are there on the internet are two different things. When I say people on internet, I'm talking about a average gamer like myself. Instead of what they hear on the internet, they should be looking at what players are doing. I think Assassin's Creed Black Flag is the last title that I enjoyed very much. Origins, yeah, maybe. Odyssey, alright. But then after that, I have not played Mirage or Valhalla completely. I own those games, but I don't want to play them. So look, I'm not saying Resynced is a disaster. Naval combat upgrade sounds great, but then then anybody who misses the old gameplay, just like me, fort capture specifically, I think they might not love it the way Ubisoft would want us to love it. And we'll know for sure on 9th of July what actually it is. And please do stay tuned into the channel because I'll be posting a lot of videos about it. And hopefully we get to play the game that we want. Otherwise, all of us have a lot to rant and talk. See you in the next video.